Joining us from Wilmington, Delaware, is Vice President Joe Biden. Mr. Vice President, good morning.
Hey, Harry. How you doing, man?
Very well. All kinds of criticism coming this morning about the choice of Elena Kagan to be the next Supreme Court Justice, Associate Justice. Some people have said she's a person so careful as to leave no footprint. Do you really know what you're getting? Do the American people know what they're getting?
Oh, the American people see what they're getting. They're getting a woman who is practical, a woman who is committed, a woman who is open-minded, and a woman who does what judges are supposed to do, listen to both sides of the argument. And I do know her. She used to work for me on the Judiciary Committee years ago when we were both a lot younger. She's still young. And I do know her, and she has an exemplary record, Harry. She's a tenured professor at Chicago, left to go work for the government, then became Dean of Harvard Law School, the first woman in the history of that great institution. Then she left to become Solicitor General, and she's now what everybody calls the 10th Justice, Supreme Court Justice, Solicitor General.
Liberals feel let down because she would be filling a seat left by John Paul Stevens. They don't feel like she's enough, has enough gravitas to fill his shoes.
Oh, well, look, John Paul Stevens, who swore me in as Vice President of the United States, is a friend, and I don't know that anybody's going to fill his shoes. But when John Paul Stevens was appointed, I don't recall liberals being particularly happy at the time. The fact of the matter is, this woman is incredibly qualified. Again, Dean of the Harvard Law School, Solicitor General. I mean, look at the people whose records she is similar to. Rehnquist, Justice Jackson, Marshall. I mean, you know, these are... You know, she comes with a very strong record.
On the other side of this, though, Mr. Vice President, people will say, well, she's never been a public defender. She's never been a prosecutor. She's never been a judge. Most of her career has been in Washington or in an Ivy or Ivory Tower.
Well, I think that criticism will be made, but I'd point out Justice Jackson, Hugo Black, although he was a senator. You have Rehnquist, Chief Justice Rehnquist, who never was any of the things you just mentioned. And so I guess her career most closely parallels Rehnquist, except she's Solicitor General, and she's a dean of a famous law school. Right. But look, there are a number of really incredible justices who have never been prosecutors, never been a judge, never been a public defender.
The political climate grows more contentious by the day. Are you confident she is confirmable by the end of the summer and would be ready to take the bench by fall?
I am confident of that, assuming that our Republican friends proceed as I expect they will. They've had plenty of time. There'll be plenty of notice. They moved expeditiously with Sotomayor, and we moved with when President Bush's last two nominees. We moved them in plenty of time. I think there'll be, a lot of noise, but this is a mainstream, incredibly qualified woman to be the third woman to sit on the Supreme Court. I think she'll pass, and I think she'll pass with strong bipartisan support.
Vice President Joe Biden, we thank you for your time this morning. Do appreciate it.
Thanks a lot, Harry.
A lot happens early on The Early Show, weekday mornings on CBS.